CBS 4 News This Morning.
Hello there. Happy Friday, everyone. It is 6 a.m. January 24th. I'm Maribel Rodriguez.
And I'm Carly Barnett. Lauren Pastrana's on maternity leave. Thank you for joining us.
Meteorologist Zach Gonzalez is standing by with our Friday forecast. And I always like to say, if it rains, I don't care, because it is Friday.
Exactly.
The weekend.
Rain or shine, we're happy we made it to the weekend, and we're waking up to a little bit of wet weather. It's okay. Just grab your umbrella, and we can handle this.
We're following a developing story out of Fort Lauderdale. Antonio Brown waking up behind bars this morning. This is his mugshot after he turned himself into jail late last night.
CBS 4 was the only station there as Brown, along with his lawyer and several other people, walked into the Broward County Jail. That is where we find CBS 4's Riel Creighton, who is live with what's next for the troubled NFL star. Riel.
Carly and Maribel, it was just before 10 o'clock last night. As you said, we were the only station here as Antonio Brown showed up here at the Broward County Jail to turn himself in. He was wanted on 3 charges, an arrest warrant out of Hollywood.
Mr. Brown, can you talk about these charges?
Live in Fort Lauderdale, Riel Creighton, CBS 4 This Morning.
Riel, thank you. Now to the impeachment trial of President Donald Trump. House managers expected to finish opening arguments this morning as they try to sway the Senate to vote to remove the president from office. Today, they will be focusing on the obstruction of Congress article before the president's team presents their defense. CBS 4's Skylar Henry gives us a preview from Capitol Hill.
This is corruption and abuse of power in its purest form.
House managers argued that President Trump abused the power of his office, impeachment, obstruction of Congress. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, opening arguments have been lasting about 8 hours a day. Because tomorrow is Saturday, it's possible the Senate will hold a shorter 4-hour session before picking back up on Monday. And President Trump made a very quick trip to South Florida during yesterday's opening arguments. The president landed around 5:30 and was here for about 2 hours. He made an appearance at the annual winter meeting of the Republican National Committee, which was taking place at his resort in Doral. And you can tune into CBS This Morning beginning at 7 for live reports from Washington, D.C. ahead of today's opening arguments in the impeachment trial of President Trump.
It's official. Miami-Dade County Mayor Carlos Jimenez wants his next job to be in Congress. Yesterday, he confirmed the news that's been rumored for a while. Jimenez will run as a Republican in the 26th district. That seat is currently held by freshman Democrat Debbie Murkisel Powell. She defeated Republican Carlos Curbelo in 2018. Jimenez is term limited as the county's mayor. President Trump sent a tweet after the announcement saying, quote, "Carlos will win big, very exciting, great for Florida, great for the USA. He has my complete and total endorsement."
6:06 now. The accused pillowcase rapist will remain behind bars. He was extradited back to Miami-Dade and went before a judge twice. CBS 4's Amber Diaz shows us how prosecutors are laying out dozens of cases against him, some dating back to the early 80s.
He assaulted them from South Miami all the way up to Deerfield Beach.
Robert Kohler is accused of sexually assaulting over 40 women in the 1980s throughout the state of Florida.
CBS 4 This Morning.
New this morning, the streets of Puerto Rico are quiet after police used tear gas to break up protesters over unused emergency aid. Protesters rallied in the streets of San Juan and outside the governor's mansion, calling for the resignation of Governor Wanda Vasquez. It comes after pallets of water and boxes of emergency supplies left over from Hurricane Maria were discovered weeks ago. Protesters are angry because the aid could have been used to help residents as earthquakes ravaged the island for the past weeks. And singer Ricky Martin also joining the calls for Governor Vasquez to resign. The singer posted a video to Twitter criticizing her response to the island after the earthquake. He said if the governor doesn't resign, the people of Puerto Rico will vote her out in November.
Time now 6:09. A wild scene unfolding in Broward County streets.
Police chasing armed suspects across the county. We have a wrap-up of the chase coming up at 6:30.
And developing out of China as the coronavirus spreads across the country, government officials placing several cities on lockdown.
Plus, it's the symbolic hour of the apocalypse, while the hands of the doomsday clock are inching closer to the midnight hour.
Developing in world news this morning, China is expanding an already unprecedented transportation lockdown to now 10 cities. This as the number of coronavirus cases rise to 830 people and 26 deaths. At least 33 million people will be impacted by the lockdown. Now, in the meantime, crews are working around the clock to build a new hospital in the city of Wuhan, where the virus was first detected. The hospital is expected to open by February 3rd. British scientists estimate that in Wuhan alone, 4,000 people could be carrying the virus and not even know it.
We now know the identities of the 3 American firefighters killed while helping battle wildfires in Australia. Canada-based Collusion Aviation says 3 men are Captain Ian Macbeth of Montana, First Officer Paul Hudson of Arizona, and Flight Engineer Rick DeMorgandunio of Navarre, Florida. Officials say the 3 men were flying an aerial water tanker on a firebombing mission in the snowy Manario region when the plane crashed. An investigation into what caused the crash is underway.
In news across America, Sopranos actress Annabella Sciorra confronted Harvey Weinstein during his New York City rape trial. She spent more than 5 hours on the stand yesterday. She told the jury that Weinstein overpowered her and raped her in the mid-1990s. She also claims he made crude gestures like sending X-rated chocolates. Weinstein insists any sexual encounters were all consensual. Sciorra's allegations go back too long to be prosecuted on their own, but they could factor into prosecutors' arguments that Weinstein has a pattern of predatory behavior. And a white supremacy group who helped organize the Charlottesville, Virginia rally is now charged with extortion and sending interstate threats. Christopher Cantwell is indicted for allegedly using the Telegram Messenger app to threaten a victim's wife in front of that person's children. He's known for helping organize the deadly Unite the Right rally. He pleaded not guilty to the charges Thursday. He has a hearing scheduled next week and a trial set for March. Cantwell also still faces a civil lawsuit for his role in Charlottesville.
It appears we're getting closer to the end of time. The bulletin of the atomic scientists moved the hands of the doomsday clock closer to midnight. Midnight on the clock symbolizes the end of the world. Well, the clock is now set at 100 seconds to midnight, the closest it has been to the symbolic doom and the first time the hands have been within the 2-minute mark. So what factors determine how close we are to midnight? Scientists say it's nuclear weapons and climate change.
Nice uplifting story for your brain.
Great.
It's the end of the world. That song's stuck in my head now. 6:19 now. One of Disney Plus's, I should say, most anticipated shows is now shelved. Why Star Wars fans are asking for answers concerning one of their favorite characters.
Plus, he's being called the world's worst cat, and he can be a part of your family if you like it. That's trending, and it's next. 6:22 now, and here are the hot topics trending this morning on social media. Star Wars fans, sorry to say, but if you've been waiting on the latest Disney Plus series, you will have to wait a little longer.
Production on the series Obi-Wan has been placed on hold indefinitely. The crew has all been sent home. The Hollywood Reporter says the show's undergoing a reworking, so to speak. They're looking for a new writer. The development is entirely unrelated to a hoax last week that the show had been canceled. Announced last summer, the Obi-Wan series will take place at some point during the 19-year gap between the end of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith and Star Wars A New Hope. The project is going to be the 3rd live-action Star Wars series for Disney Plus, following The Mandalorian and Rogue One.
And days after her 74th birthday, the legendary Dolly Parton accidentally created a new viral challenge showing off your different personalities on social media. Yeah, the country star posted a meme on social media, accidentally creating a viral challenge. She posted on Instagram Tuesday, putting up 4 photos of herself representing each different social media platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Tinder. Get you a woman who can do it all, she captioned the various photos of herself. The LinkedIn photos you can see shows Parton in a businesswoman attire, like probably from 9 to 5, right? On Facebook showed her wholesome side with a Christmas knit. Instagram showed an artistic music photo in black and white. And finally, the sexy side of her on Tinder showed the star in a Playboy bunny-esque outfit. Celebrities included Kerry Washington, Ellen DeGeneres, Kristen Chenoweth, Jennifer Garner, and many more hopped on the trend and began posting their own memes.
Dolly Parton is fabulous in all of them.
She's fantastic.
Well, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity, and we do hope that's the case for this cat in North Carolina. This shelter's taking a different approach to find Perdita a home. They posted a picture of her with the label, "World's Worst Cat." But it's in a lighthearted way. They said, "We thought she was sick. Turns out she's just a jerk." This is on the Mitchell County Animal Rescue's page. It says her likes are staring into your soul until you feel as though you may never be cheerful again. Jump scares, they say those are her specialties, and lurking in dark corners. Dislikes include kittens, dogs, children, the Dixie Chicks, Disney movies, hugs, and Christmas. Wow. While most love the hilarious write-up, a few slam the page for portraying cats as hateful. Well, poor Perdita has not been adopted yet, but someone hopefully will find humor in that and give her a home.
Yeah, I'm sure people are going to be running in there asking, I want the cat that's a jerk. There's always great videos and stories to see online. Check out more of what's trending on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and cbsmiami.com/webextra.
CBS This Morning is coming up at 7 here on CBS 4.
The most wonderful woman, Gail King, joins us live from the CBS This Morning studios in New York. Good morning, Gail.
Hello, wonderful people. It's good to see you in Miami. Ahead on CBS This Morning, there is concern about the deadly coronavirus. It's growing in the United States. We'll see you 7 o'clock on the dot.
Oh,
back in Miami.
Can't wait, Gail, and have a great weekend.
See you guys.
Well, they'll have that and a lot more coming up next on CBS This Morning, and that all gets underway at 7 right after CBS 4 This Morning.
And straight ahead at 6:30, NFL star Antonio Brown waking up in jail this morning after surrendering to police for several criminal charges. CBS 4, the only station to catch him walking into jail. We're live.
Plus, there's a South Florida connection to the Grammys this year. Of course there is. Ahead, Lisa Petrillo catches up with Tracy Young ahead of the big show.
This is CBS 4 News This Morning.
Right now at 6:30, Antonio Brown arrested. CBS 4 was the only station there as the star football player surrenders in jail.
A wild police pursuit unfolding across South Florida cities before coming to a crashing end.
Plus, after a drizzly day, will we see more rain heading into our weekend? Lisette is here with our forecast. What a beautiful view this morning.
Yeah, it's like a Christmas tree.
Yeah, it is.
Lights.
Yeah, we do have a few showers out there, but not widespread. Not everyone is seeing the rain this morning. However, I want you to be prepared. Make sure you have your umbrella. Yeah, I know. I also noticed driving into work earlier and some fog, too. So Maribel was mentioning it's a little soggy, a little foggy. I like that. I'm going to steal that, my friend.
Hashtag soggy foggy.
There you go. Welcome to the weekend.
Call me a poet.
There you go. Yes, and we are dealing with that rain rolling in across parts of Broward County.
We're following a developing story out of Fort Lauderdale. Antonio Brown waking up behind bars this morning. This is Brown's mugshot after he turned himself into jail late last night.
CBS 4 was the only station there as Brown, along with his lawyer and several other people, walked into the Broward County Jail. And that is where we find CBS 4's Riel Creighton, who is live with what's next for the troubled NFL star. Riel?
Carly and Maribel, it was just before 10 o'clock last night that the former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown arrived here at the Broward County Jail.
Time now 6:36. A cross-county chase comes to a dramatic end. Police from several agencies desperate to catch a carjacking suspect. Officers pursuing the driver of a pickup truck down main roads, side streets, and an expressway. His high speeds and erratic moves also putting plenty of other drivers and people walking in an awful lot of danger. CBS 4's Hank Tester reports from Davie.
It's a wild chase that began in Hollywood. I'm Hank Tester, CBS 4 This Morning.
A man is facing multiple charges after allegedly trying to sexually assault a woman inside an art gallery in Wynwood. According to an arrest report, Jose Antonio Figueroa entered an art gallery on Northwest 2nd Avenue, locked the door behind him, and walked towards one of the employees. The employee asked him to leave, and that's when police say Figueroa pointed a box cutter at her, led her to the back of the gallery, and demanded sex. Police say she tried to push him away. A witness walking by told police he saw the incident, heard the victim scream for help, and chased after Figueroa until an officer caught him. Figueroa faces multiple charges, including kidnapping, armed robbery, and petty theft. A former Brownsville middle school teacher accused of sex crimes involving students has pleaded guilty to 2 counts of sexual activity with a child. Wendell Nibbs was sentenced to 8 years in a state prison, followed by 10 years of sex offender probation. He will also be classified as a sexual predator for the rest of his life. Nibbs allegedly made sexually harassed and victimized students between 2004 and 2016.
Caught on camera, Broward County deputies are hoping surveillance video can help them find an armed robber. Investigators say this man walked into 12th Street Food Market in Fort Lauderdale. This is back on January 10th. He was armed with a gun. He holds the weapon to the clerk's head, demands cash, and orders the clerk on the ground before running off. Take a look at your screen. If you have any information that could lead to an arrest, you should call the Broward County Crime Stoppers at 954-493-TIPS.
Happening today, new rules concerning what's known as birth tourism go into effect. Yesterday, the Trump administration announced it will no longer issue temporary visitor visas to women looking to come to the U.S. to give birth here so their children can have automatic and permanent American citizenship. Back in 2014, CBS 4 investigated the practice where women pay anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 to brokers and arrange their travel documents, places to live, and hospital stays. In 2012, the Centers for Immigration Studies estimated about 36,000 foreign-born women gave birth in the U.S., then left the country.
Time now 6:40. The big game is nearly here.
That's right, but you don't need a ticket to enjoy all the Super Bowl fun. How you can take part in some freebies next.
Woo! You're teaching me how to DJ, Tracy Young?
That's right. DJ Lisa's gonna take on my job.
I'm Lisa Petrello, and she's up for a Grammy for Madonna's remix of
All Right.
Meet her coming up on CBS 4 News. We are jamming.
My man cave.
We need that energy this morning. Here's a look at this morning's winning lottery numbers. CBS 4 this Friday morning. We'll be right back.
This morning, preparations are underway for music's biggest night, which is just 2 days away. Crews are putting the final touches on the Grammy stage. The 62nd Annual Grammy Awards will air live only right here on CBS 4 on Sunday. And this year, there is a South Florida connection to the awards.
Are we really surprised? Miami's own Tracy Young has worked with music superstars like Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, Beyonce, and this year, Young is nominated for a Grammy for Best Remixed Recording. Oh, and she's making history by being the first female producer remixer to be recognized in the category since its inception back in 1998. CBS 4's Lisa Petrillo caught up with Young just before she left for the big show.
You want me to teach you to DJ?
Sure.
And now to our coverage of Super Bowl 54. We'll just keep the fun stories coming. A free Super Bowl fan festival opens this weekend in downtown Miami. And we got our first look inside Super Bowl Live. Bayfront Park has several exhibits now. They include field turf with large footballs next to it, each one representing a winning team during a Super Bowl held in South Florida. The upcoming game is going to be our 11th Super Bowl. Athletes will also be making an appearance, and of course, there will be cooking.
There's our culinary demo stage, which will pair athletes and chefs and great tailgate recipes.
Super Bowl and food, they're synonymous. It opens Saturday and it runs through the following Saturday, but keep in mind it will be closed Wednesday. To see a full schedule and what's allowed inside, go to cbsmiami.com.
Now here's a quick wrap-up of your Friday morning headlines. Former NFL star Antonio Brown is waking up at the Broward County Jail.
Brown turned himself in last night. CBS 4 News, the only ones to capture Brown, his lawyers and others walking into the jail. His charges stem from an incident at his Hollywood home Tuesday. Police say Brown refused to pay for a delivery through a rock at the delivery truck and then caused some damage. The delivery driver says Brown also pulled and scratched him. Brown faces several charges, including burglary with battery and criminal mischief.
House managers wrap up their opening arguments in the Senate impeachment trial of President Trump. Democrats tried to establish a personal motive in the president's dealings with Ukraine. Lead House manager Adam Schiff said President Trump took a sudden interest in Ukraine only when he had growing concern over Joe Biden's White House candidacy. The president's defense is expected to begin Saturday in a shortened session.
China is expanding an already unprecedented transportation lockdown to 10 cities. It comes as the number of coronavirus cases rises to 830 people and 26 deaths. At least 33 million people will be impacted by the lockdown. The coronavirus has sickened hundreds and spread to other parts of the world.
Protesters in Puerto Rico rallied in the streets of San Juan and outside the governor's mansion, calling for the resignation of Governor Wanda Vasquez. It comes after pallets of water and boxes of emergency supplies left over from Hurricane Maria were discovered weeks ago. Protesters are angry because the aid could have been used to help residents as earthquakes ravaged the island for the past few weeks. All right, Lisette, It's a little wet. It's a little
foggy.
Little
Still
foggy out there.
but it's all good. It's Friday,
There
right?
you go.
Yeah.
Can't win a Friday, right?
Nope. Yeah, we are waking up to a cool start. Comfortable, 66 in Miami, 64 in Fort Lauderdale, 67 in Key West. Yeah, we're seeing some clouds out there from our Windjammer Resort camera. There's a view from Marsha Axelrod, our weather watcher, as well as Sandra K. Booth. A mix of sun and clouds this morning, and even a few showers around Pompano Beach. We're seeing some showers around Pinecrest, the Dayland area, Kendall, and also across portions of the lower Keys near Big Pine Key. Keep the umbrella close. Not a high rain chance, but we will see the chance for these passing showers in upper 70s. Tomorrow, some showers and then cooler after we hit a high of 79. Lows will fall to the 50s and 60s by Sunday morning.